Welcome back to the Beyond World Book Club. This week we are going to be talking about the Da Vinci Code, which we've been reading for the past little while now. It's going to be super duper religious treasure hunt, crazy madness.
Yeah, it's definitely a book that made me look at maybe art history and the Mona Lisa a little bit differently. Maybe started to look at all paintings and looking for hidden symbols and everything that I see. It's been a good one.
Yeah, like I said, it's part treasure hunt, it's part mystery, it's part murder. Oh, murder mystery, I guess. And then part. Oh wait, what secrets have the church got up their sleeves?
Yeah, so we'll definitely be talking about all the puzzles, the characters, controversy, a bit of why this book managed to stir up the debates at the time, and I may have played the game a little bit, and I definitely watched the
Oh,
film, so we'll throw that in as well. Welcome
so
back, dude.
yeah, welcome, Da Vinci Code.
Twinkie Code.
Yeah, so I've seen it called that somewhere. I
No, I
must
like it. It just took me back to a really weird, very off topic, but really weird meme with Tinky Winky, an anime style thing where he goes on a killing spree. I'll send it to you later.
Oh,
Messed up.
no, I think I might. Oh no, yeah, I think I have seen it. I've seen it like an Eldritch horror one as well. That
Yeah,
was fucked
it's
up.
dark, dark. But
Oh,
that's
okay,
what we're
yeah, maybe
talking
it is that
about.
one.
We're talking about the Da
But
Vinci Code.
we are.
Dan Brown, uh, renowned as one of like a really great book, right?
Yeah. When it came out, it was like everyone that I say everyone that I knew were talking about it, but everyone that I knew that read books a lot was like, "You've got to read this book." My granddad actually gave me this book to
Oh no
start with
way!
us. I actually just like sort of popped back into my mind. He actually was the one that gave me this book to
That's
read. He's
so
like, I've
cool.
read this guy. You might like it. So okay, cool. And yeah, did big time.
That's I remember. So my history with this book, I'd never read it until you suggested it, and for this Beyond Words Book Club. But I'd heard about it, and I knew the Mona Lisa was involved. I did know that there was something to do with Jesus having descendants. So that was something I'd already had some idea of going into it. That was like the big crux of the book, which
Yeah,
isn't like a big twist as such. I mean, I think
no,
the idea is maybe it was at the time. I don't really know, but that comes into the book pretty soon. You're very hinted at the fact
yeah,
that the
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
this thing they're looking for is potentially a descendant of
It's not.
Christ. So
Yeah, so the story for those who didn't read is well, the object of the treasure hunt is the Holy Grail, and the theories are obvious as Joe's said. It's not a story about a cup; it's a story about the bloodline of Christ. So a bit controversial to probably not really all Christians. They can probably go Orthodox and Catholics, but for a fictional book, I'm pretty sure at the start of all of his novels says all of the art references are accurate. All of X, Y, and Z are accurate. Not the people. Not I'm drawing my own conclusions from stuff, but this is there. This is there. This is there. This is there. And this you
yeah,
can go there and see to a degree. Um, so for a fictional novel, it's pretty persuasive, right?
yeah.
Like,
Uh, there are points in this book, and this is what I loved about this book. So you mentioned, I think, when you first brought it up, Indiana Jones but a lot more.
Harris tweet suit.
Yeah, like less action and more mind,
Yeah,
sort of thing. Like more Sherlock Holmes, a bit less action. And yeah, I thought straight away I got that, and I was like, oh, really into it. And then as soon as they did the bit, so it gets into it pretty quick. And when
yeah,
they started talking about the phone call that she left, and then the codes, and then straight to the Mona Lisa, I started googling the Mona Lisa, and I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah, Ammon from the two different names, like the god of femininity and the god of masculinity, and how could it have actually been a self portrait?" And I was like, "It adds up. Like this makes sense. The fact that he says facts that the difference in height of the landscapes is makes you look at them a bit differently. The fact that the grin is that it's actually a bloke in a dress equivalently. It's
Yep.
just like." Oh my god, it adds up. And it's a theory, I get that, but it's a pretty good theory.
When there's evidence to support a theory and there's not evidence to disprove the theory,
It was,
what conclusion do you draw?
and so he got me early. Do you know what I mean? He got me straight away. He
Yeah,
wasn't
this is
like
what happens.
he wasn't like the Mona Lisa is done by aliens, or do you know, it wasn't like
No,
really
no,
out there. It
it
was
was
like,
done by Leonardo da Vinci.
yeah,
It,
and he did it as a joke, and even went to the point where he's like, it's not here, it's not a secret, like that. The whole,
da Vinci was
it,
like that.
yeah. His homosexuality I never knew about, and again, never proven. But that adds up. His atheism, things like this. I was like, okay, yeah, like again, that it adds up. Like because he was a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Like not
Um,
saying that you can't be religious and intelligent, but he was an
no.
exceedingly intelligent man for his time, and it went
Yeah.
against religion at the time.
And he is brought up in the first book, which is like
Okay,
partly referenced in this one. The lady that he talks about at the beginning, Victoria, she's the chick from the first book. And in the first book, someone tries to blow up the Vatican City
yeah,
with antimatter, and Robert Langdon somehow helps them start elect a new pope. Basically, just he stops all of that happening by finding the Illuminati or some shit. Um, and yeah, so when he mentions something about being at this no talk
yeah,
about the no questions about the Vatican last year, and then there's another part that mentions it. That's the
yeah.
referencing that. Um,
Because
and Da Vinci's part of that because it's to do with they go to look at the Sistine Chapel and the
yeah,
roof, St Peter's Basilica, and yeah, he points out a bunch of little like funny things that Da Vinci did in that as well. So if you'd read the books, you know them saying this stuff about Da Vinci probably wouldn't be as unfamiliar as well. So you know he might be a little bit of a jokester. I mean, even to the point in Assassin's Creed is that's not accurate, but he's a bit of a jokester in that. You
yeah.
know, I
It
mean,
did make me think of Assassin's Creed.
yeah. So, um, oh,
Do you know why? Do you know what his reception was like to Angels and Demons, that first book? Because what do you know why Da Vinci Code was just it blew up like it did? Is it because it is just that much better? Is it
I
the sort
think
of controversial nature of it?
honestly, I think it is actually because of the Holy Grail. The
Okay,
Holy Grail is such a well-known story. Like he says
Indiana Jones.
in the book, everybody knows that goddamn like almost world over. You could go to maybe some places and be like, what the hell are you talking about? Of course, but Christianity is everywhere. Like a lot of religions are, but it is everywhere, and that's a pretty famous part of it. Um, so a different take on it would be like, oh, okay, this is even you wouldn't know going into it. You'd be like, oh, cool, search for the Holy Grail, and they'd be like, what? What? Jesus had babies?
Uh,
Um,
yeah. It,
I liked going. Have you looked at the Last Supper?
yeah. Oh yeah. And so what one thing we'll get into the movie at a later point, but one thing I did think was brilliant about the movie is when they show the Last Supper image and they
Yeah,
transpose the images across and they show that's that's weird how well that all adds up to his theory. That's weird. And I
and
was like,
again,
is this not real? Like trying to Google the correct image. I was like, that's all very because this is made up. It's made up, but
but look,
it's made up.
everything's made up by the winners.
Hmm.
You're told that the story, no history is the winner's side of the story.
But again, when you do start questioning, it's like Da Vinci having all that knowledge. Did he do it as a joke? Did Da Vinci like because that picture obviously isn't a painting of. It's not like a photo. It's not what happened at the time of Christ's Last Supper. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if he was a bit of a pranky guy like that, then definitely would. You know, he seems like just an ancient Banksy.
Yeah, kind of.
You know,
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I see that in it a lot now. Um, so yeah, we won't in this go through the story in detail. We'll talk about points
no,
that plot
because
points and stuff like that because it's a pretty well known story. And but it's Michael Langdon. Am I making that up? No,
Robert
not Michael. Robert
Robert
Langdon.
Langdon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Robert Langdon. Sophie Nouveau. Have I
Yep.
said that wrong? Sophie Nouveau.
Yeah.
Um, uh, what's the guy called? The
You
old
got the
man.
knight, the Lee Teabing,
Lee
the knight
Teabing.
from the realm.
Uh,
Yep.
the night, and then Agent. I won't call him Favreau. Is it Favreau?
Um, the Bull. We'll call him by
Yeah,
his
the
nickname.
bull.
He's the Bull.
Um,
Whenever, honestly, I know he's played by. Is he played by Luc Besson in the movie?
I can tell
The
you.
guy. Have you seen Leon?
Is no, it's not. Is it? No, it could be. Yeah, I can't recall if
I'm
it's him or
gonna
not.
Google
But
quick. But as soon as I started reading the book, I pictured him
did
as that
you?
guy straight away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. John
Okay,
Reno. John Reno. Um, is Bezu Fosh.
Bezu
I'm
Fash.
definitely
Yeah,
not
Fosh,
Fash. Yeah,
Fash.
Fosh, Fash. Whatever.
Um, the bull. Yeah, much
Yeah.
better. And then there's the
The monk,
monk, which we
Silas,
Silas the
the
monk.
albino monk.
Which again, that was a really poor part of the movie. It's just a guy with blonde hair. Pretty key thing about him being albino and his backstory about being the ghost and stuff like this, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Movies again, we'll get to the movie very shortly, like for a little bit at the end. But in the book, what a great character,
Yeah,
what
he
a
was
great
cool,
backstory,
man.
fully explained. Every motive made sense. He was a full
Yeah,
rounded character, despite being very at the same time very two-dimensional of like I will do what
just
the
religious
boss
fanatic.
says. Yeah, and
Yeah.
gruesome as well. Some of that explanations of what he would put himself
Yeah,
through.
yeah. I mean, someone, yeah, it's someone with that devotion to a cause to
Oh,
injure themselves to that degree. Like the guy wearing a bladed or barbed belt around his leg. Ugh, ow, wow.
and then
Jesus
the
died for our
last
sins so that we don't have to hurt like that, bro.
that was the idea, right? But maybe not. And then the last character, who is one of the characters we've just mentioned, but the teacher, who is like, although it is a character we've already talked about, they stand alone until right close to the
Yeah,
end
right at the
because
end.
um,
Did you guess at all?
no, and there's reasons because the book doesn't. That's where some of my like the only failings of that I have with the book is there's certain bits that just don't add up. They don't make sense. Like
Okay.
we'll just get to it. It doesn't.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not going in order. But so there is another character which is T Bing's assistant, right?
yeah, Remy.
He is very clear about how much he hates him, and he says like in his own monologue how he hated him and he couldn't wait to not be a servant anymore. And when the teacher approached him, he couldn't believe that it was going to be his way out. And I was like, so I was like, well, it can't be T-Beam because because he knew that it was him, so it didn't add. If T-Big had come to him as a fake person, I'd have got it. But he knew it was who the teacher was, and yet still said that if that monologue hadn't been there, the bit about like, oh, I hate I hate my boss, I'd have got it. But his boss is the teacher, and you knew that the whole time. So I didn't. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's why I didn't get it because of that bit. If that bit of text hadn't been there, I would have been like,
I'll
because I the whole way I was like, it's gonna be him, of course it is. And then the way he came out was like, I can't wait to get rid of my shitty boss, and finally this is my way out. And I was like, but it's the same shitty boss. I don't get, I don't get
okay.
it.
I'm gonna have to reread that bit a bit more carefully then.
Yeah, I'll try and
'Cause
find the exact
I
text
just
some point to
completely
send
forgot
over
that.
to you.
Yeah.
But it's the bit where he's talking. He sort of talks to Silas and unwraps him and stuff like this. And then there's a bit of like oh, I I'm so happy to not be with the thingy because of my shitty boss and blah blah blah. And it was just I don't know. It was a bit weird.
Okay.
And he did seem like he didn't like his boss. You could tell that like his character seemed to not like being the servant
Yeah.
of Lee. So that was the only I think the whole way through, the only bit I was like, what? 1-on-1 make 3? How? Come on. Because it didn't need to happen. Because that made it feel like a lot more of a, and it's him. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
it didn't set
Fair.
it up enough. But when it was him, the reasonings behind it, because again, the problem is I think he had to fit it in there because of it's quite clear that he would be someone who would really want the Grail, who would really try and do any ways to get it. I didn't get why he would use the church in that way because that wasn't explained until right at the end. Right, I had no idea why the church would get
Yeah.
involved and how he tricked them and stuff like that. I thought that was really clever. Um, and once he is revealed as him and how that all comes out, fantastic. I thought that was brilliant. The
Okay.
fact that he couldn't figure out the last puzzle and he had to have them that like their help, so that all made sense. It was really good, and it made, uh, yeah, it all added up. And again, certain little bits like why he took them to the first knights, the place with where the knights weren't buried.
Yeah.
Um, that was a bit of weirdness because it's like, well, obviously he would know, he knows everything. He would know that there are no real knights there. He would know that.
Yeah.
Um, and so it was a nice little tricksy bit and like a hint that something wasn't quite right with him, which is why it was juxtaposed in that same sort of chapter with this guy saying, yeah, he knows who the teacher is and he's met him and all this stuff. I just don't think he needed to have met him personally.
Yeah.
But what
Fair.
about you when you first read it? Did you see it coming?
No.
Can you remember?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, I was quite well. I'd say quite young. I think I was a teenager when I first read this, so
Oh,
I
crikey.
definitely didn't. Because this is like probably one of the first adult books I read, apart from like school ones. And I was just hooked straight away because it was a Holy Grail story, and it was like telling me all like at that point I was an angsty metalhead teenager, and it was like fuck the church. Don't cancel me. But yeah, it gripped me, and I loved like the Langdon as a like nerdy but sort of still quite strong positive male figure in the
Yeah,
book. He was very
really good.
interesting to me. Um, I Silas I thought was pretty cool when I first read it again. Angsty like church assassin. I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's kind of cool. Um, and I probably didn't quite get the whole plot the first time I read it, but I knew it was really good.
Yeah.
And I've reread it through the years. I haven't read it in a long time, but yeah, I reread it through the years and loved it every time. So it was when I knew you hadn't read any of his books, I was like, oh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
I'm so grateful that you did it. Um,
I
talking
can't believe it
about
took me this long. To be fair, I'm
well,
surprised. To be fair, he hasn't written a book in ages, and then it was when the ad popped up for the new one. I was like, oh shit.
and I guess you probably just assumed I would have read it because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that
To
sort
be
of thing
fair,
where everyone has. And um, I'll get onto that maybe in a minute. No, yeah, fuck it, we'll go straight to it. I just had always been sort of put off it because angsty teenager. If everyone tells me to do something, if everyone's like,
yeah,
"This is
yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
thing," I'm like, "Well, I don't want to fuck
Well,
that." Like,
no,
I'm not. Yeah,
I
no.
don't want to have fun.
This is popular now. I don't want
Yeah,
to. Which I'm glad I finally got around to read it. Which is maybe go like, oh shit, I should sometimes just listen to what people say and not be such a little shit and try and like be different. Because there's a reason sometimes why things are applauded as being
yeah,
amazing. And I'm glad I haven't. I've lived and read this, but that's how it sounds daft. But this book was brilliant. I thought it was so good, and I read it so fast because I loved it so much.
yeah. You
I was
did.
gripped. I was talking to people at work. I was just like, "Holy shit! I'm finally reading this book." If you're like, "Okay, well, here we go," um, it was just like, "Yeah, you're just 10 years late," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, this came out in like it's a long time. It's an old book." And when they
Yeah,
talk about like
yeah.
smart cars and phones and things like this, and it's like, "Oh yeah, it's a different technological time."
2003, mate.
Yeah, that's 22 years old, this book. That's bizarre, man. That's
Yeah,
bizarre. It's such
it
an old
doesn't
book.
feel it at all, does it?
No, I remember the Dan Brown and blah, blah, blah. And that was why when I was like, oh, watch the movie, I was like, this is an old ass movie. Like, fuck,
Yeah,
this is an
yeah.
old book and an old
Well,
film
the
and an old.
book is
I am
timeless.
late to this.
Yeah,
But yeah, when you mentioned about the bad guy and did I see it coming, I was just going to say that I thought all the signposting was fash the whole way. I was
Okay.
like, it's just pointing to this guy as being, he knows everyone. He's talking to the, and I never, even not until I think I saw the film, I didn't put the two and two together that he was part of the crazy church cult.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that
That's
that
why.
that would make a bit more sense. Um, so yeah, I proper thought he was the bad guy, proper for it, and that's why. And again, because he was relentlessly after Langdon, relentless. He was like dog with a bone. I think they even say that. Um,
Yeah. I think maybe that motivation to catch him would have maybe had the opposite effect on me. So I've been like, oh no, that can't be hit. I would have dismissed him because of that.
yeah,
Um, I think that it is sort of a sixth sense sort of thing that, like, once you've read it once and you know it's Lee, like, you're like, right. You just read it. Well, it's a different, interesting perspective because you're reading through the double cross
yeah,
and you know about it, and I quite like that as well because you see Lee for who he is, being like, damn, you're really just being this casual about this, and X, Y, Z. It all makes sense as well,
yeah,
more so. Cause right, cool, yeah, let's go to England. Let's do this. Let's get you out the country. I'll help you.
yeah. What was cool about Lee as well was he wasn't just this murderous psychopath, despite being a murderous psychopath. Like he, the reason he murdered these people is again just like religion. He had a devout belief that what these people were doing was wrong, that they
Yeah,
should release the information, that it was wrong that religion was, teaching people lies and that they were allowed to rule and blah blah blah. But to then he then told lies, his own lies to Sophie. Do you know what I mean? He became what he hated because he was like,
yeah,
oh, they killed your family, they did this. It's like, did they though? Like that's never fully explained, and
no,
they were worried after a crash that they could have done, but it was never proven that the church went for them,
yeah,
and
and
the
they
church could have
do like
kept
explicitly
going.
state that as well.
Yeah,
Like, look, that it could have been, but was it?
yeah. And what
You can't say yes or no, not something like that.
and before we get into like Christian iconography and all this cool fun stuff that we are both dying to talk about, what an ending! What a lovely, and the fucking minute that boy was in the special church, I went, it's him. That's her brother. That's her fucking brother. And then they said, oh, grandma's got a box like that. I was like, granny's alive too. Grandma and brother, yes. And I was so happy. So happy.
I um I find it amazing that you knew from the start as well. We're
Hey, man.
told right at the beginning. Sophie's like, "Am I bloodline of Christ?" And they're like, "No, you don't have the right surname.
Yeah.
No.
But
Like
that again, yeah.
and she's called Princess Sophie from the start,
Yeah.
and yeah, you still don't really see it coming because it was dismissed so early. You're like, you got me, damn you.
Another thing the movie completely fucked up.
Mm.
Ruined it. Well done, movie. Hollywood.
I would say
Bunch of idiots.
I liked the very ending of Langdon being like, wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute. I know
And
it
it's where
is.
it all started. It's where it was. It was so that how was so well done, and the fact that
Yeah.
Silas's line, that Meridian line thing, was
Mm.
called back in. Everything. The fact that one of the very first things that they're talking about when he gets to Louvre and the pyramid and all this stuff. There
Yep.
she is. There, the bang right there. She's been there the whole time, right in your face. What a clever twist! What a
Yep.
fucking clever twist.
He hit her right next door.
Yeah, absolutely, just 10/10.
Mm.
I did find it weird the that everything worked out for the other church where grandma was and stuff like that. I think that was extremely coincidental and a little bit rote. Like it just didn't need to happen that way, because how he got there and there was like, okay, well look, here's the sign on the floor of the sort, the male and feminine, which is the star that was created by people walking around, and how Excuse me. But
Oh
the
yeah,
grandma knew. She was like, "Nah, it's just coincidence. Trust me, just keep looking. You'll find it eventually." Um, that was interesting. But yeah,
yeah. So I think yeah. At the
he had to
end,
go there. So
yeah. Once you've tied everything up super neatly, you need to put the bow on it, right?
yeah,
And at that point, I think you're allowed to leave a loophole
yeah,
if you need to.
it was fine.
I won't
I
forgive Oda
didn't.
for doing it. No, you never get ever going to listen to this, Mister Oda. But no, I'm not allowed to
No,
do that. Sorry, you no. Dan Brown, yeah, cool.
yeah,
It was
he can
alright.
get away with it. Um, and cool that the only person alive technically now who knows the location is him.
Yeah, potentially only him.
They'll pass it down now because they'll
Yeah, they'll
pass it to the next. But yeah, they'll have to figure it out. They'll have to work it out
to,
themselves because
there'll
the
definitely
five
be like
died.
some people in waiting for the priory that were
But
sort
they
of
weren't they don't at that point didn't know, and the five did. So they have to go through the whole bullshit of finding it out, right?
uh
Do you know what I mean? They have to do what he did to find out.
yeah, technically, I mean he's the leader now, right?
I mean,
It's
that's it. Technically, he's the holder of knowledge, right? Langdon is.
mm,
He's the one who knows.
yeah.
Because even Grandma was just a bit like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Like that's one of his old pranks, lol. It's like they sort of got to the point where that she although so Mary Magdalene, I keep saying she. So Mary Magdalene, the wife of Christ, the progenitor of Christ's bloodline, um, they were looking for her, but really because there was like two parts of the chalice. It was her body, but also her bloodline that carried on, and it was almost like that was irrelevant. The body at this point, and that what was more important was the bloodline that was continuing. I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, I mean it's cool the ramifications of that knowledge
Yeah,
and really realistically of that bloodline existing today would be mind-blowing. Like
it,
realistically they I
but
mean
again,
I don't want to
realistically,
say this.
let's
Realistically, no, technically they would be the king and queen of the Jews. No? Because
let's
they
not get
are
into
the
that bit.
unbroken line from King Solomon. They would be the unbroken line from
Yeah,
King
but
Solomon
yeah,
and the other guy
yeah.
the
I
joining of
yeah, I'm
those
not getting into that
royal
bit.
households. I don't know.
But what was where was I going? Jesus, baby. What was really interesting, one of the things that we talked about his facts and things that he pulls into question that make you go, okay. He doesn't just go, Jesus had a kid. He
No,
says, what
no,
unmarried Jewish man would exist at that age? They would that wouldn't fucking happen. They
no,
would not let that go. He son of
no.
God or not. He
He would have been
uh,
married by some age.
like you'd
It
think,
wouldn't have
right?
happened.
I don't understand
You don't
the
get to
not
be a
happening.
bachelor when potentially you die. Almost die at any point from a lot of things. It was even worse back then.
Yeah.
So you had to, yeah, you had to
And
do that,
Mary
and for
Magdalene
religious reasons.
not being a woman of the night. I always forget what exactly you're supposed to call them now. Is prostitute the correct terminology? People get upset. But Mary Magdalene not being that and
Sex
instead
worker.
being sex worker, thank you. And instead being just his wife, and that the church
Yeah,
wanted to put her in such a the fact of the witch
which
trials,
yeah,
all of this stuff just all makes so much fucking sense.
the persecution of gingers. Mary Magdalene had red hair.
Okay. I mean, that's a
People don't.
whole. I don't remember that part of the book, but
No, it wasn't. That was that's my own contribution. But I'm not
um,
ginger, but the church done them dirty.
it the power of the church can't be underestimated. It
Nope.
cannot be underestimated, and we're seeing, if we put our hands up, we are seeing not necessarily the Christian church, but other churches showing their power in
Yeah.
today's day and age. I think that's the Vinci Code is never been more important as it is now to sometimes take a step back and question the morality in today's day-to-day life of what maybe some of these teachings are saying, um, and question the fact that man controls this. So
Yeah,
man,
Th-
they can rewrite what they
it is a
fucking
book
want.
that's written by a human. Not a it's not a book that's been given to you by another power or divine being. It is a story told to you by a human being who had an intent in telling you that story. They had a purpose. You don't know that purpose because that they wrote that book 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And when that book was in Christianity's case, when that book was written by one man, like 300 years after Jesus died in a different empire, for the moved from Rome to I can't remember where it moved to, and decided, we're gonna Roman Empire's crumbling. Rome's just been fucked up. How do we keep the empire going? I know, religion. That Jesus guy.
Yeah. 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 I listened to a sort of what do you call him? A philosopher who does like TikToks and stuff. And he was talking to someone and sort of just brought up the question of, well, what if the devil was the one who spoke? How would you know? What if the devil was the one who told you to write the Bible and told them to write it exactly as they did? And every word that you believe was just written by the devil. How do you know? How would you ever know?
And to some degree, the answer to that is their faith. That is the whole point of. That's the thing. It's all propped up on their belief and their
Yeah, which
faith,
is such a
and
crumbly fucking. You know what I mean? It really.
it is. I mean, yeah, I agree and disagree. It is, but it's also I also do find it commendable.
This is.
Because
Yeah.
hey, Matt, I don't have the belief to have the faith that there's a higher power that created the world,
Mm,
and all the other jazz, all the stuff that's in there that's a bit too miraculous. I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. There's an answer for that. There's a reason that happened. It wasn't an outside influence. Um, to give you a little one, Moses, is it Moses in the burning bush? The area of the world that that bush that they were in, the dry bushes that would have been growing at that period contained the chemical which I think it's the Acacia plants, which when burnt produce a similar effect to DMT.
you
So Moses was
sound
around a burning
hallucinating.
bush in the desert. Yeah, it's all true. It was around a burning bush in the desert where these bushes that dry out and set fire and they catch fire. This specific one, this is what happens to it. It produces DMT like chemical. So Moses actually, yeah, met God, but not in the way that you think he met him or
Yeah.
her or it or whatever it was. He met the machine elves. He met like probably 3 or 4 gods, and then came back and was like, "Holy shit!" A bush spoke to him. Yeah, it did because it was producing DMT. Very,
it's it's a mad
I don't know.
topic. A mad
Yeah,
topic. Um,
I love a religious debate. I mean, it's
I I went through
I
a.
have
Okay.
nothing against people that nothing against religion, and the people that practice it. Kudos to you. But me, no, it's not for me. And I like trying to debunk and find the truth in things. So that's my jam.
I went through a time in life where I was quite angry with religion. So growing up, I was terrified of death, like to the point I wouldn't sleep and things like this, like for other reasons as well. But one of them was just I was terrified I wouldn't wake up, and so I was recommended religion as a way to not be so scared anymore. And I went. I don't know. I'm sure I've told you this. I used to go to Jesus camp. Like I was devout, man. I went to church every
Yeah.
Sunday. I was the Christian kid, and it meant that I read everything. And for me, the biggest fuck up that the church ever did, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I've questioned this to people many times and never got a proper answer. Um, is that when we die and go to heaven, like say my grandma had died or my
Mm.
someone passes, and I think it actually was my rabbit that made me really question it, which is bizarre, right? That it was my rabbit dying. And the priest said, "Well, he's in a better place." And I was like, "But hold up, what heaven? Yes, okay. Well, I don't understand because heaven doesn't exist yet. Like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, heaven, Jesus has to rise again, and he then decides. Everyone goes supposed to go to limbo, and then Jesus will decide if you go to heaven or hell. Heaven doesn't. Heaven's a concept. There is no heaven yet, and they couldn't answer it, and they couldn't tell me an answer. And I started to then go,
The
"Fuck,
rapture
wait,
has to
what?"
happen for heaven
Yeah,
to
rapture has to
happen.
happen. You then you go to heaven or you don't. But rapture hasn't happened yet because
Yeah.
Jesus hasn't come back. So every time a
Yeah.
priest is like they're in a better place, no, they're fucking not. They're just in the ground waiting. And it's like, oh, it's to make us feel better. It's to make humans
You
comfortable.
will go to heaven, but you no, because it doesn't exist. Even if
Not,
it does exist, it doesn't exist yet.
you're gonna have to wait, and you're not gonna know. It will be like, I get that, but to try
Well,
and tell people,
potentially, because
that
you
that's
never
not
know.
happening, I just always
Yeah.
that got me a bit. And so when people are like, oh, they're watching down on me, not according to your fucking book, they're not. And that's just what I found weird. So for a long while, I was very angry about that because I was hurt that I'd been lied to, and I'd put so much of my faith to not be scared into this religion. And then recently, in the past like 5 or so years, I'd definitely say, definitely since having a kid and things like this, I really appreciate religion. I can understand the importance of it, especially in society. I wouldn't want. I don't. I don't believe in a god and a creator, but I wouldn't want religion to disappear because I do think there are times when
There are lessons
it
to be learned,
show yeah,
for
and I
sure.
think there are
Absolutely.
certain people who need it and would be morally
Yep.
assholes without it. Um, so if for those people they require that to be morally right, then okay, you have it.
Sure. If
Um,
someone has to tell you the rules, cool.
yeah, but
Fair play.
I will always put my foot, and there will always be a line, and that's when you then attack another person because they think differently of you,
Yeah.
and that's the key
Yeah.
thing.
No.
If you want to believe, let them believe too, because tell you what, you believe them if you were born there.
Yeah.
That's it. It's where you were born.
You're born, and where there's a different line drawn by someone again, like ages ago, that none of us drew, and that's why you believe what you believe. You could be told, you could be convinced of something else, and then what happens to that religion? People that convert from something to something else. Which one? Which one? Pick one.
But that's another beauty of this book, despite it disparaging Christianity and showing not, I don't know if that's even the right word, but
Well, not
showing the
disparate. I'd say
flaws in
the
it,
yeah. It's
um,
showing flaws and like
making
pointing
you
out it's not
question
it.
certain bits.
Yeah,
The end result
and
is that we need it. Don't abolish it. We need it to keep
no.
going. Don't. And I think he even has a really nice. Langdon has a lovely quote, and I wish I could quote it. But towards the end of the book, where he's basically talking to Sophie about whether or not she should release this information about who
Mm.
she is and about the line of
Oh
Christ, and he's
yeah, I
just
know the bit you mean.
like, I don't think you should, and I think your granddad didn't want you to. I don't think he trusted you to make that same choice because people need it. People need religion, and but
Yeah,
it doesn't
you
make
think
you
about
any less of who you are.
no. Yeah, you know. There's.
Yeah,
Do you need other people too? There's Yeah, there's powerful messages there. I mean,
it's really good.
I've always I've always loved it. It's always been a great book. Um,
How did it not get banned? That's something because the church loved the banhammer.
money, 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 money.
But just like the popularity of it, I would have thought there would have been a lot of people who would have been
I
like,
mean,
"Oh,
yeah.
this is
Didn't they try and ban Harry Potter?
yeah." But that's because of like and Pokemon, all this stuff. But so there must have been. I'm sure they. I probably just wasn't aware because it wasn't some. Again,
Yeah, there was
I
probably
wasn't passionate about Dan Brown.
there
So
was probably a lot of backlash at the time, but probably not. I mean, now with social media, it's so always there that you would know about it. But maybe back then, like until the internet, I didn't know that Dogma faced loads of backlash.
oh, I didn't know that either because
Oh yeah,
that's a
loads.
similar. That's a
When
similar sort of.
Kevin Smith picketed the picketers,
That's
I'm pretty
hilarious.
sure because he's a devout Catholic, right? I'm pretty sure he joined in actually in one of them. He stood, held up his own sign.
That's
Or he got,
funny.
I think as well, he got a lot of his friends to do the same. They counter protested the protest. It
Because
was funny.
that's another sort of look on a similar thing. Isn't that also the bloodline of Christ?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I wonder what came first. But it wasn't the
I think
Grail.
Dogma is like 19. I think Dogma's the 90s,
Yeah, I would.
1999.
Yeah, there you go. Dan Brown, you've ripped off Dogma, but made it your own.
Well,
So
he didn't have Ben Affleck
no.
or Matt
Oh
Damon.
man, Dogma's so good. Dogma's
Yeah,
so good.
great film.
Um,
Go check out if you haven't seen that.
yeah,
More religious controversy.
and
There's 13 apostles. One of them, and all the apostles are black. So was Jesus.
yeah,
Um,
which is
ain't no white
right.
man in Africa being born. I'm sorry. South Africa nowadays, yeah, maybe 2,000 years ago, definitely not. Sorry. Yep. Jesus loved the ladies. Jesus had kids. Oh, in Dogma, it's Jesus had multiple kids, I think, and Bethany was the last one,
Okay,
or the last
last of
of
the
any of them. Yeah,
yeah
they weren't ever protected. I don't think.
no
Yeah, great film.
it and that is a much better film than the Da Vinci Code film, which I have to say is one of the
It's
trashiest
poor.
films.
It's
I
really
think
poor.
maybe if I hadn't read the book, so I watched it with my wife, who was like, "This is actually okay. Why are you so annoyed?" Because they changed everything. They made the
Yeah,
woman
because
thick as shit. Like I've never
yeah,
seen a worse portrayal of a woman in a movie. Sophie is such a good character in the book, such a
yeah,
key
she's
character,
super
so
smart.
clever.
I mean,
Yeah,
she figured it out right at the beginning.
she she's figured
Literally,
out a
and they
lot of
said,
it.
no, 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 no.
She figured
Don't
out
be
a lot of the
silly.
puzzles. It wasn't all
Yep.
in Langdon's the hero in the movie, and he wasn't the hero. He Sophie's the hero, and he helps Sophie. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's the protagonist of the book, but he's not the
He's
hero.
oh, what's the archetype? I mean, yeah. So Sophie would be the heroine. He's the Gandalf sort of in
Yeah,
this one.
yeah,
In the first
absolutely.
one,
He's
he's a
not
bit more of
Frodo.
sort of the action hero. There's a lot more. There's a lot more explosions in the first one. But yeah, he's yeah more like the guide in this one.
Yeah,
He's there to help along.
but not in the
He's
movie.
just along for the journey, and happens to know a knight that wants to find the Holy Grail.
Yeah, the movie. She at the ending's completely different. So her parents died. Uh, her granddad turns out to not. Oh fuck! They ruined that bit. Not even her granddad. He just adopted her
Yeah.
and like took her in to protect her. And her grandmother was alive all along, but just hidden. Just like so, they didn't meet her grand. She was just a very rich English woman, sort of thing.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, this is all. Why have you done it like this?
And it's a shame as
Oh,
well because I mean, not
I
just
don't
because the movie
understand.
could have been awesome, but like I actually think Tom Hanks was pretty perfect casting.
Yeah,
Like,
parts of it were really good. Parts of it made a lot of sense. They even had the smart car. I remember saying to Belle, I was like, they better be in a fucking smart car. Um, so much of it they got right. So much of it. And so much of it they just ignored.
mm,
Completely ignored. Um, the bit at the end with the bugging and the big reveal and all this stuff just wasn't mentioned. A big point of the Grail being inside another case, like a double casing, that never
yeah,
happened. Some really key parts, and I don't think that's just like a runtime thing. I just think that's a Hollywoodization of a really good book.
yeah. Let's pump it out.
Yeah, but I will say,
Definitely.
I started playing the game. I did not finish it. The action sequences of the game are the most trash in the history of the world. This game came out at the same time as the movie, but was based on the book. So the book had like two things. So there was the movie version and the book, which is good. So it's not Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It's Langdon, and it's completely true. It's like
Okay.
word for word the book. I was like, oh, I because I'd read the book. There were some of the puzzles I knew the answers to because they were just the answers that I'd read in the book. It was
Oh, okay.
it's word for word what happened. And
Okay.
some of the puzzles are insanely fucking difficult because they do add some extras in,
Yeah.
but they have every puzzle that was in the book to the point I'd played, and everyone, yeah, it was brilliant, brilliant. Apart from
Oh.
the need for action sequences, because I was like, I was reading the book because I'd very quickly looked up the movie when the game, sorry, when you first mentioned the book, and it was talking about all the fight scenes and all this stuff, and I was like, what the fuck they do? There's no fighting. We're like they're really peaceful. Like, what the fuck? And then when I started playing the game, I was like, oh no, she is. Sophie is just beating the shit out of guards with a candlestick. That's happening. Okay.
Okay,
Fuck.
fair play.
Definitely going to be arrested at the end of this game because whether your reasons are right
That's
or not,
just assault.
you're just assaulting people. You can't
Can't
undo
do that.
that. Yeah, I did think it was funny as well. The book though, how they never got done for like holding people at gunpoint and stuff like this. You'd have thought that there'd be some questions regarding that, but it's a book. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. I don't. It's fine.
fleeing the country. I suppose.
Traveling without passports, like
Yeah, but I suppose at the same time, it'd be that guy. That police branch was the equivalent of what the FBI, and I would say MI5. Maybe not MI5, but
they were
it'd be
high up,
like
weren't they? But
yeah, it was. So if you're getting chased by them and it 1000% wasn't you and it was 1000% this huge organization and this other dude crazy, I don't know. I think you probably would get let off with a lot of the stuff. They didn't do anything. The only thing they did really bad was skipping borders.
yeah, which
Yeah,
they
holding
then
people at
didn't make them
gunpoint
go
wasn't
back.
great, but they didn't do anything. You
They didn't
know,
shoot anyone. They didn't pistol whip anyone.
they
They
got
did hit
shot
someone in the
at.
face with a door.
Oh, yeah, they broke the bank guard's note, but
Yeah.
he was sort of in on it.
No, no. He was just genuinely trying to protect her grand. He thought that they were
Yeah,
robbing the
I
granddad's
mean,
stuff.
I
So,
meant into. I meant
oh,
in
sorry, yeah,
the
yeah.
sense that
So
he
he
was
wouldn't press
like a really
charges.
good
He would
friends
never
with
press
the.
charges. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good
Yeah.
friends with the granddad, and was like, no, I want his stuff to be safe and back, and I think these people have murdered him.
One thing I think probably will come up more of the series of books, but one thing I didn't quite grasp why they would bring it up, and that was that Langdon's fear of small spaces. Because it happens right at the start with the elevator.
Yeah, it happens a few times in the first book.
Okay, so because that's why I was just like, it seems like something that will come up again, and okay, it doesn't say.
Oh, the watch as well. The watch is a constant.
Oh, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, but they do talk
Yeah,
about that, right? They do
yeah.
explain that it was like, I like that. That was cool. And they
A
actually did.
timepiece.
They explained about the well, didn't they? His fear of the small space. So they did bring
Yeah,
it back.
yeah.
I
He fell
I
in a
correct
well.
myself. Sorry. I remember waiting for something more about it, and yeah.
Yeah, it happens. That's one of the constants in the book. He'll get trapped in a small space. He'll go swimming. He'll
Poor
get trapped
Robert.
in a small space. He'll put on the jacket. Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, thank you so much for introducing me to this book. I would then genuinely, if I had to score it a 10 out of 10, there is, although I had little bits, I was like
Yeah.
niggly. Every book's gonna have niggly bits, right? But as a whole, I think I read it in like a few days. It was just I couldn't
Yeah,
stop.
because I was like on the first page. Although granted, I was on the first page for a while. Like, you had just like bolted through it and had like finished it, and I was still like 6 pages in or something. And I
It
was
may
like,
be
oh damn, I got some speed reading.
it may be full. You know when sometimes we talk about getting like proper ADHD, autistic, like proper into something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got that
it proper got
because
you.
it was so good. It was so interesting, and it just kept pulling me in. So yeah, it got me.
It's a quick read as well. I mean, it's
It's
not a
about
small
500
story,
pages,
but it's
isn't
not
it?
fat. It's not fat. It's not like the Lost Big Book I made us
No,
read.
but
Um,
it's
it's still
no
a chonker, but
yeah,
quick read, right?
it's no
Very quick.
Darren Shan, but it is a big read. But again, I read it just in my opinion, it was just as quick. It was just as like it moves, it's pacey, it keeps going. You don't linger, you don't
Yeah,
get bored. You want to know, oh, one more chapter, just one more chapter. I need to know the
because
next
like
bit. I just need more.
some chapters will be like 2 pages.
And that the length of the chapters is so good because it's
Mm.
just one more, just one more.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good,
He's got a
and I
good
hope
writing
he
style.
continues like that because yeah, I do want to read more. I think we talked about before we press record. I massively want to read more. I'm really interested
Yeah,
about the new book, despite its laughable name. Um, I guess he's
yeah. I
just
don't know why
getting
you did
tired of
that.
names. Well, maybe
Yeah,
you'll find out when you read it. But
true, true.
I do
It's
wonder if any of his other books can hold a candle to this one, though.
I actually when I first read them both, I preferred Angels and Demons. I preferred the first one.
Holy shit! Okay.
Um, the subject matter and everything in it is super cool. I thought. He's got a couple of other books as well. One called Deception, Digital Fortress, and one called Deception Point. They're not about Langdon, but they're both good. But I think Deception Point's kind of gnarly. Digital Fortress, I don't remember too much about. I only read that one once. But that was about something to do with the NSA. And Deception Point is technically. No, I don't want to say in case you read it and it might spoil it.
Okay.
Yeah. Deception Point. I did enjoy that one quite a bit.
Very cool. Ah.
So, what is your next book?
Oh yeah, next book. I forget we do that at the end. So it's an author that we. It's the first time I think we have maybe double tapped an author.
Okay.
So yeah, and I wonder
Oh, I
because I
didn't
know
know
that
this.
we've maybe had a little bit of a pre-read. Is Christopher Bjorman? I think that's how we
Is
say
he
his name.
Black Tongue?
Yeah, Black Tongue Thief. The
No, I
same
see
guy who
it.
did Black Tongue.
No, I see
Um,
it.
and it's called Between Two Fires, I think.
Yeah.
Between Two Fires.
Between Two
Um,
Fires.
yeah. And this one is actually the one I wanted to read before Black Tongue. So
Okay.
I heard about this one, thought it looked really good, and then Black Tongue came up, and I was like, I worked out the months, and I realized that it would be my pick most likely if we didn't read quick, but in October. And I was like, oh, this one will be good for Halloween because it's like a horror.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
fuck it. He's got a new book. Let's read the new one, see what that's like, and then I'll go back to this one.
Cool.
It took me a lot of picking this month because there's loads of stuff I want to read right now. Thanks to you and thanks to all these introductions to books and all the new stuff. But yeah, this one people are really raving about it, and
Okay.
after quite a disappointing pick from like it wasn't like I said a bad book by any such the Devils, it just wasn't what we wanted. This one is supposed to be that grimdark that the Devils missed out on, so let's give it another go. Try again. So Chris Bjorman, Between Two Flames, and it's medieval, set in medieval times, and might have a bit of angels and demons in it as well, so we'll wait and see. Wait and see.
I'm about 50 pages in already.
That's
I'm
it.
enjoying it. Now, I thought I recognized the name of the author, and now I can definitely see it in
Oh
the writing
really?
style, and it felt familiar a little bit. It's hard to explain, but yeah, nice. I'm enjoying it so
Nice.
far.
Good. Good. Well, we will talk about that more in a couple of weeks. So please, if you're interested, if you haven't read it, pick it up. Good luck getting a paperback. If you do, I would recommend you put it to one side. That paperback is worth a freaking fortune right now. If you've
Oh,
got the
really?
hardcover, put it very much away. I think because it's his first book and because of how it was published,
Oh, limited print
I
runs.
think Kindle very affordable. Just Kindle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Bjorman, Between Two Flames. And with that, it's the end of the podcast.
Thank
Fun
you
one.
for joining us. This is a very cool journey. We do love Da Vinci. We do love his
Yeah,
code.
and I'm very excited for your next book as well. I have no idea what it is, but just you keep bringing these bangers out, man. Keep them coming. I'm loving it. So
Yeah. I sort of know what it's gonna be, but I'm not sure. Like I said, it would mean reading 3 books because I think this one, it it's one story in 3 parts, and
yeah,
where each book does have its own conclusion, but it's not as satisfying as the whole conclusion. Like there are good books standalone, but you will want to read the second one, and each book's not that long. Each one's about 250, 300 pages, and it's not like deep prose that's
yeah.
going to take a lot of reading. I'm pretty sure you could finish one of these in like a few days. In all
Okay.
honesty,
Well,
um,
for now,
but I'll have a think still. I've
yeah.
got another one in mind potentially,
Keep them in your
and now
pocket.
you've done this, I might do it too.
Until next time, I've been Beyond Joe,
And I am Stephen.
and thank you for joining us.
in France and in England and in no, that's all they went to. Yeah, France and England. Thank you.